I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for being here again. It's always a pleasure to have a full house. We enjoy that very much. So again, thank you very much. In a few minutes, we're going to do something that's really kind of special. You already know the players, and we've done this before. The Wenner Company is in the process of trying to put in a new development, and they need some assistance. So we're going to talk about that in a couple minutes. The Planning Commission, who, in my opinion, is one of the hardest working committees of the city, but they don't get any credit. So in a couple minutes, we're going to call on the Planning Commission to do some investigative work and make a recommendation to the council with regards to the Planning Commission. And we have Ann sitting here, and then we have a couple members of the council, and that's all I see so far from the Planning Commission. But again, I wanted to publicly say that they're here, and we really appreciate what you do for us. So thank you. So we're going to have some fun and excitement tonight. Can you say fun and excitement for a council meeting?
No.
Okay. We're not having fun and excitement tonight. Anybody want to have anything to say? You get 3 minutes. You can address the city and say what you need to say. John, Brian, what do you got? Anything? Anybody? Pat, thank you. Hope you're doing well. And nothing? All right, then we're going to skip and move on to, that's items number 1 and 2 on the agenda. We're going to skip down to item number 3, which is approve the agenda. Council, any questions about the agenda? Otherwise, can I get a motion, please?
I'll make a motion.
Dave, thank you. Can we get a second?
Second.
Jamie, thank you. Discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Excellent. We have an agenda. Let's get started. Item number 4 is where Chris decides that she's going to read for us. Chris, if you would, please.
Minutes from February 23, 2016. Recommendation to approve the minutes of the February 23, 2016 City Council meeting as presented. Accept resignation of firefighter Justin Hellevik. Recommendation to accept the resignation of firefighter Justin Hellevik and thank him for his dedicated service. Approve one-day gambling license for Corey Band Boosters. Recommendation to approve Form LG 220 application for exempt permit to conduct one-day gambling for Rocori Band Boosters, Inc. for a raffle to be held April 11, 2016 at the Sidebar and Grill. Furthermore, to waive the 30-day waiting period for said permit. Approval to hire firefighters. Recommendation to approve the firefighter hiring committee's recommendation to fill 3 current openings with Molly Eggerman-Bierman, Keith Pleckenpole, and Matthew Van Lith, contingent upon successful completion of the standard physical examination.
Thank you.
Yep.
Council, any questions, comments, concerns? Otherwise, I need a motion to approve or disapprove the consent agenda.
I have one question for the fire department.
Yep.
Will this fill all your guys' current openings, or do you still have more?
We have still have 2 openings.
Still have 2 openings? Okay.
And,
That'll put us at 28.
okay, and so you have enough to operate? And with the 2 openings that are out there, are you going to reapply, re-advertise, or do you have enough candidates that you can do just re-interview, or how do you want to proceed?
We do not have enough candidates at this time. We will be reapplying,
Okay,
re-advertising. it.
okay, excellent.
We'll hit it hard at the community showcase.
Okay.
In a couple weeks and see if we can get more people to apply.
Okay, excellent, thank you. Got it?
Got it.
Okay, all right. Consent agenda.
I'll make that.
Fran, thank you. Can we get a second?
I'll second.
Jamie, thank you. Motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Excellent. Item number 5, Planning Commission meeting. Okay, again, real quickly, real briefly for everybody that's watching, what we're doing is this. In order for the council to approve some variances, what this council has agreed to do is we want to, as much as possible, get the recommendation from either planning or some other organization, some other committee that has had ample time to review the applications and that kind of stuff. So that's what we're trying to do. But in this particular case, the Wenner Company has come upon a deadline. Is that a safe way of saying it? They've come across a deadline, and so in order to meet the deadline, what they've agreed to do is to have a special meeting in which they are going to have, they're going to explain to the Planning Commission and discuss with the Planning Commission their variance requests. Then the Planning Commission will make a determination, and then based on that determination, the council will decide how to proceed. So what we're going to ask the Planning Commission to do is to convene, and then once you've done that, then it's going to be your meeting for the next however long it takes. Okay? Thank you.
Okay, I'll call this special planning commission meeting to order at 6:36. We have to open a public hearing then, right? Okay, we'll open a public hearing then at this time, which is 6:36. Background of this, Reggie? Go ahead.
Okay, we got Steve here with our architectural firm. GLT is going to pass out some maps.
Thanks, Steve.
About a week and a half ago, the council approved some variances for us that were recommended by the planning and zoning. We had one that in our first negotiations was denied by planning and zoning. So we just dropped that one, didn't take it to council, and we went back to the drawing board and tried to come up with a compromise that we felt maybe would address the concerns. And what the understanding that we had is in the variance request that we shared with planning and zoning first time through, we were asking for a variance from a commercial to a residential, and that is the one that they were discomfort with. The ones that were commercial to commercial, they went ahead and approved and recommended to council, and council followed through with that approval. So on this map, the first thing in the variances we're looking at is on a section of property that's north of the bike trail, and it borders residential on its northern boundaries. We had a road coming in, and the road was going to turn and go across the north boundary of that property, and by doing so, we were needing to ask for a variance to cut into the 20-foot parking paving setback on residential to commercial. Okay? And what we did is we went back and we looked at this, and actually we think it turned out nicer, to be honest with you, is we moved that road from the north of the building to the south side of the buildings. Now the variance that we're requesting is against the 5-foot setback commercial to commercial, which is the same exact setback that was approved on the south side of the bike trail for us. So now it matches up commercial to commercial. We do have a 14-foot wide variance approval for our road, which we were looking at, and we had talked with the fire department on. They can make comment on. So that's what our requests are at this time, is to bring the road in and down along the southern border of our two property lines. That will take the road back to service the facility back here and the facility up here. So does that make sense, the changes that we made? Mm-hmm. And so that's kind of, we've had a lot of discussion about the road and going in through there. And we certainly understand the concept of going against the residential against commercial. It's a different buffer than a commercial against a commercial application. So we went back to the drawing board. We came up with a solution that we feel is maybe an answer to the concerns that were out there on that particular variance. So I got Steve here tonight from the GLT Architecture, as well as the three brothers for the Wenner Company. So maybe I just open it up to questions from the planning and zoning at this point.
With the change of the roadway, does it affect the access to that building at all, as far as?
No, the access to that building was going to be a 14-foot wide road with 6 and a 6 for the curbing,
Yep,
so it was 15, 14 wide. Instead of being on the north, it's just gonna be on the south now.
but the same.
But it's the same 14-foot width, so.
Okay.
So that all stayed the same. What it does, actually, is on the north side of the buildings now, though, the buildings are at a 30-foot setback, and if you'll notice by the drawing, that full 30 feet is gonna be all green space now, because there won't be any bituminous on the north side of the buildings now. So that buffer zone went from 20, which ordinance calls for, to actually 30 is what they're ending up with now, because our building is at a 30-foot setback. So we gained an extra 10 feet of green on the north side in that buffer zone.
In the article in the paper, it said Fastenal's not going there now?
Fastenal has requested us to review a potential change.
Okay,
There's nothing signed right now. What is signed is for Fastenal to be here.
okay.
And Fastenal understands there's a commitment for them to be here. When we talk with the family and we talk with different things, we don't want any client to be dissatisfied, and we want them to be part of Cold Spring long-term. So there is a potential that we would maybe switch a lot for them, but the new lot they would go to would come in with no variance requests. Because we had told you when we had this all approved, that these two lots down here, which are on 23,
Yeah.
that if we develop them, we will not ask for variances, and we will not if they decide to go there. The issue for them is, that's more money. That's a nicer piece of property.
I suppose.
You know, it's got better exposure
Access, highway.
and access. And so that's where the issue becomes is, if they want to go there, that's fine, but we've got a different price value on that piece of property. And so that's what the negotiations are looking at right
Okay.
now. So we're not trying to hide it, we don't have anything we can confirm for a guarantee right now.
Okay. I was just curious if there was going to be a different higher volume tenant, something like that, in that niche.
Oh,
instead.
in there.
Yeah. So,
Ann, do you have anything?
There is green space between the drive zone or the driveway and the trail, correct?
Yes, there is. And what the green space is not on our property though, Ann, it's on the trail property. They go from the center of their trail, they got 15 feet that comes to the north, which has about 3 feet of bituminous and about 10 foot of green to get to our property line. So that 10 foot of green will still be in there.
Is there anybody wishing to speak on this? I'm going to ask this 3 times, so. Anybody wishing to speak about this? And one more time, anybody wishing to speak about this? Okay, we'll close the public hearing then at 6:44. You guys got anything? Ann? Oh, no?
I think it's a much better fit.
I like it. I like it the way it is right now.
Yeah.
It does. It does fit a lot better.
As a resident, Mark, have you looked at the difference?
I would have been okay with it the other way,
Okay.
just because it would have gave me probably a little bit better access to my backyard. But this is fine too, I'm not against it at all.
Okay.
I think overall, this is the best thing that we've seen come back there. We'll be living there for 30 years this fall, and this is by far the best thing that's ever been back there as far as I'm concerned.
Okay. Well,
Would you like a motion?
yes, I need a motion for,
Okay.
I
I'll make
suppose
a,
do them one at a time? Or all of them?
One at a
time?
Yep.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to recommend approval of the variance for parking aisle, lot 1, block 1,
Okay.
for the specs.
And you second it? Okay. Any more discussion?
That's at 2016-09?
Yes.
Okay.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Against? Motion passed. How about the next one?
I'll make a motion for variance for parking aisle Lot 2, Block 1, Resolution PC 2016-10, to recommend to the city council approval.
And I'll second.
Nan seconds it. Any more discussion? All those in favor signify. Aye. And against? Motion carries. And the next one.
I'll make a motion to recommend approval of variance for parking paving setback, Lot 1, Block 1, Resolution PC 2016-11, for the city council, to the city council.
Okay. And Nan seconds it. Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Against? Motion carries. And the last one.
I'll make a motion to recommend approval to the city council for variance for parking paving setback, Lot 2, Block 1, Resolution PC 2016-12.
And Ann seconds it. Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. And with that, we will adjourn the planning commission.
I'll make a motion to adjourn planning committee.
Oh, yes, we got to make a motion. And Ann seconds it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Against? Okay.
Well, thank you for the opportunity for the special meeting, coming in here and doing this a little different than normal for us, so I appreciate that.
Looking forward to seeing ground turn.
Yeah, so are we.
Now it's your turn.
You're done? Okay.
Yes.
All right. Those of you that are keeping score, we're on item number 8 on the agenda. And again, Ann, thank you. And Jan, thank you. Item number 8, we have the same variances, but now this time, we're going to take the recommendations of the Planning Commission, and the council is going to either approve them or disapprove of them. So we're going to do the exact same 4 variance requests. Reg, you got anything more for us? Weiner family, got anything more for us? I don't know what has changed in the last 3 minutes, but I just thought I'd ask if you had anything more. Anybody? All right. Then I think we're on item number 8, and again, we have to do them one at a time. So let's start with 2016-15.
I'll make a motion to approve that.
Dave, thank you. Can we get a second?
Second.
Jamie, thank you. Motion and a second. Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Excellent, thank you. That's 1. The next one we're going to be doing is Council Resolution 2016-16. Discussion? Otherwise, can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Dave, thank you. Second?
Second.
Jamie, thank you. We have a motion and a second. Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Thank you. We have 2. Are you guys getting excited? Because we almost got it, okay? Can you feel it? It's building. It's building. Okay, the next one. The Planning Commission has approved a resolution, and that shows up to us as Resolution 2016-17. Discussion about it? Otherwise, can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Dave, thank you.
Second.
Jamie, thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Excellent. We have 3 done. We're on the last one. And I think we should drag it out for a little while, don't you think? All right. Discussion about it at all?
No.
All right. Can we get a motion, please?
I'll make that motion too.
Dave, thank you.
Second.
Jamie, thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Council, again, thank you very much. I appreciate very much what you have just done. Weiner family, again, I thank you for your commitment to the city of Cold Spring. Everybody's asking about it. Everybody's excited about it. So again, thank you. To all of you, thank you.
Thanks, you guys.
Okay, now that we're this far, is there any other update that you wanted to publicly make? We're getting closer?
We're getting closer. The excitement's building.
The excitement.
And we're hoping within the next couple of weeks, hopefully.
In the next couple of weeks, hopefully we'll have some sort of an announcement. Perfect. Excellent. Again, thank you. Thank you. And keep mending. All right. Item number 9. And again, Ann, thank you. Item number 9. John, Brian. Item number 9, Public Works Director's Report. John Stevie.
Good evening. I've got a few things that I added to my list for approval, but we'll start with the lawnmower. Ron Fuchs is coming back to work tomorrow. He's kind of he'll be on a little bit of a limited basis, but he's excited to be back, and we're excited to have him back.
Where did everybody go?
With that, well, he was on that leave, but with that, him and Pete are looking at a new lawnmower for the baseball park, and it's down in Brooklyn Park. We budgeted for it last year, and we budgeted for $16,000, and the price of this one is $11,500. It's line item baseball park 116566-6714. They're looking at MTI Distributing is the place. And then if it checks out, we'd like permission to purchase it. Ron and Peter are gonna go down there and look it over. And
Would they be trading in the old one, or?
no, they originally had planned on trading in the old one for $500, but it's just not worth it. I mean, we can get a lot of use out of it yet, so they're gonna keep it.
Okay.
What else? Council? Any other questions?
I have 2 questions.
Excellent.
The first one being, is this some super special lawnmower that a local distributor couldn't get for us? And/or a local distributor that's close?
It's kind of like a golf course lawnmower, kind of. It's got the rollers on the front of it.
Yep.
I don't know if, maybe that's a question for Fran, if
It's a real type mower.
it's a little
yeah.
different.
So it's not something we...
MTI makes a nice one in that, Jamie.
Okay,
Yep. It's a good piece of machinery.
okay,
Yep.
fair enough.
And Ron has researched it quite a bit, and he's good at finding good deals, and like I said, they're gonna go down and check it out, and there's no better mechanic to look it over than Ron.
Okay.
He's good, so.
And if they're not happy with what they see, then
Then we'll just pass and keep looking, I guess.
Okay.
So what you're looking for then is a conditional approval?
Yep. If the lawnmower checks out, to approve the purchase.
Council, what do you think?
I'll make that motion.
Jan, thank you. Can we get a second?
I'll second it.
Dave, thank you. We have a motion and a second. Further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Find a good one.
All right.
Thank you.
Last week, Tanya and I went to the Minnesota Rural Water Conference at St. Cloud. And it was kind of interesting. We sat through a lot of groundwater classes, and believe it or not, Cold Spring was one of the main topics in just about every class with the nitrate issue and the monitoring wells. And I'm sure you guys have seen the ad in the St. Cloud Times they had. And then I also did an interview with W. John to kind of set things straight, that those are just monitoring wells that are high nitrate, not our production wells. You know, we have standards we have to meet with the Department of Health, and we're definitely below the limit for that of 10. We're down, I mean, the highest we see is 5 or 6, and we monitor that to keep it as low as we possibly can. But the drinking water in Cold Spring is definitely safe to drink. There's no worries. Drink up. And then we have four RAS pumps and 4 mixed liquor pumps at the wastewater plant. And one of the RAS pumps and one of the mixed liquor pumps are due for services, new bearings, and hopefully they don't have to do any machining on the inside of that, and new seals. And the price, we got 3 bids, and the cheapest one was electric motor service at $3,500 to $3,600 per unit. So for each, the RAS and the mixed liquor pump. And then if machining needs to be done, it could be up to $2,000 more per unit. And we need these pumps to operate the wastewater plant, so it's kind of crucial. And it's budgeted, I mean, it's not necessarily budgeted for that exact thing, but it's in the equipment repairs for wastewater. line item 6313, I believe it is. So I don't know if we need approval for that or not, but
Those kinds of things, do we usually just wait until they have a bill, or do we give them a conditional approval now, or how do we handle something like that?
I think on one that size, you would approve it ahead of time.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
at
So-
least we'd be safe enough to.
Well, it gives them the assurance that they're going to be able to get it done, and we're going to
Sure.
be, we'll pay for it, so you don't
Yeah,
stand there
so
holding
John
a bill.
doesn't have to pay for it.
Exactly, because I'm sure he's not going to want that.
Well, maybe you could carry us for a little while.
We would be willing.
I'm sure.
Yeah, I'll think it's his credit card. I'll make a motion that John goes ahead and let's see what we can do with those motors.
I'll second it.
Fran, thank you. Jamie, thank you. Motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Was there 3 of them?
There's 2 of them. There's a RAS pump and a mixed liquor pump, but in the future, there's gonna be more. We have 4 of each total, so
Okay,
there definitely will be more.
So you do them in phases?
Yeah.
and-
okay.
So we have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Excellent. Thank you, sir.
And then also, we had a SLC 505 processor unit. It's part of the SCADA system and the controls. It's kind of the brains to the operation that talk back and forth to different buildings and our SCADA system. That went out, and the pieces are kind of extinct now. They're going to different processing units, so they're kind of spendy. We're looking at a refurbished one, which comes with a 12-month warranty, and it's $3,075 to purchase at Preferred Controls in Albany. They were the low bid. Another one of them pieces that's crucial to our system.
What's a new one, John?
5,800.
5,800?
Yep.
And this one costs what?
3,075. So
Oh,
what
yeah.
we'll do is we'll send in our old one,
Yeah.
and then within 1 to 2 weeks they're gonna fix it, and then they put a 12-month warranty on it.
Okay.
I'm favor for a new one. That's what I am.
It's, to be honest with you, it's really not worth a new one.
It ain't,
No, the refurbished ones are
but there's only 12 months. How much warranty is on the new one?
12 months.
12 months
Same
also?
warranty, yeah. And really that warranty, it's really not effective, to be honest, because they usually last longer than that anyway. It's just kind of the nature of the beast.
John, you mentioned that the system is old or something, and again, I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but the SCADA system is
Not
old?
necessarily the SCADA system, but these SLCs.
Okay,
Allen Bradley makes a newer PLC that's, it's kind of like when the LCD TVs first came out. You know, they were very expensive, and now they're super cheap, or a computer or anything like that. And it's basically what it is a little computer chip that you slide into the panel, and it operates the talking between all the buildings and alarms and everything.
okay.
So
So then, do we need to upgrade, do we need to plan for an upgrade to the new LED, using your analogy?
you know, we've talked about it, and we're working on that, and with a different integrator and getting prices together. It's kind of a big project.
Okay,
so
with luck, we'll make till budget time where we can plan for it and everything?
Definitely.
The part that we're having rebuilt now, that's going to make it so that the system hopefully continues to operate at peak capacity until we get to that point?
Yeah, we usually always carry a spare on hand, and our spare went down, or one of them went down, so we put our spare in, so we don't have one on backup now. And then we had to pull one out of I think we had another one go down, and we had to pull one out of our security system in our shop right now, so that's where this one's going. And that talks to the other buildings and everything, like I said, so
Okay, so we need one or we need two?
we need one.
We need one?
Yeah.
Okay. And in your opinion, that of Tanya, what we need is a rebuilt one, because that's going to give us the same warranty?
Yeah, Tanya and Matt, myself, the integrator, they're all on board and for the refurbished one, or the fixer-upper, and that's the way to go with these, because it's just way too much money for a new one. It's not worth it.
Okay. Questions?
All right, Lee?
All right, then should we give them permission to go ahead and get it done?
I'll
Yeah.
make that
Yeah.
motion.
Jan, thank you. Can we get a second?
Second.
Jamie, thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? All right, keep
Thank
us
you.
running.
That's all I got.
Thank you.
Thanks, John.
Yeah, thank you, John. Council, before we move on to Brian, any questions, anything else for John at all?
Nice tan.
Yeah. There's more sunburn.
When do you start hiring for springtime, part-time parks people, kids?
I think Ron usually I think from what he said, we asked the people that came back first, or that were there prior, and then we'll go from there. So that'll be coming up pretty quick here.
Okay, good.
And with our new 2 full-time employees, it might cut back a little bit too in the springtime help.
Okay.
I think they usually start when school's out.
Oh, for summer help?
Yeah.
Oh, yep, okay.
And John, I've got one more thing, or one thing I'd like to say to you, and basically I'm saying it to the community at large. Rocori Trail Construction Board. Again, real quickly, it's the trail that connects Richmond to Cold Spring to Rockville, and we've been working on it for a long period of time. And as everybody probably already knows, the 3 cities have a joint powers agreement, and what we do is we rotate the chair of that committee from year to year, and this year it's Cold Spring's turn. And John, one of your guys, Pete Weber, is this year's chair of the committee, and I just wanted to tell you that he's doing a great job of running the meetings and keeping things moving and that kind of stuff. So I just wanted to tell you that that's what's going on, and if you wanted to tell him that the council says keep it up, that'd be okay with us.
Good to hear. We'll do.
All right. So that's it for number 9, unless council has anything else. All right, number 10 on the agenda. Brian, it's your turn.
Mr. Mayor and Council, pass around a sheet here that we can look at as well. I want to start with County Road 2. And, getting the final plans pulled together, you should have had, with your packet, you should have had a set of plans to look at. I'd be happy to answer any questions about them right now.
All of it.
All of it? I can go through page by page if you got a lot of time.
The only question I have is when you reviewed it with the county, they didn't have everything had been coordinated with them, so there was no surprises to what we were expecting.
No, there were no surprises. We're still working out a few little things. We might actually be up at the Rocori driveways. We might be doing a little work there because we found some water that tends to sit in them. So we said now's our time to fix that. So otherwise, any little things that come up, we're working with them. The extra sheet I just handed around, there was in the plans there was a rough sketch of what the fence would look like down by the SA and the Holiday. So the sheet I passed around is after Friday we continued to refine things, and so that's kind of what you see here.
And after the last council meeting, were you able to get some of that information on the city website so that others could had a chance to see some of that?
Streetscaping we did, yeah.
Did we?
We didn't
Okay.
put the fence on because
Okay.
it was pretty rough.
Yep. We get some? Okay. Because somebody asked me, and I said, I don't know. But so it's on there. Angie, thank you. And I do appreciate it. Angie, thank you. People in the audience, you can't see it, but Angie's here. She's with us every meeting. She does a good job for us. So Angie, thank you. Okay, Brian, thank you. What else you got?
Otherwise, just the plans have our utilities in them, so our sewer and our water. The storm sewer is being designed by the county, and then we'll have as we had talked about previously, we'll pay for a portion of that storm sewer. That exact number is yet to be determined. That's determined by someone at MnDOT. So the maximum we would have to pay, I think, was 45% of the total storm sewer cost. Just even at that's a pretty good deal. Otherwise, in here as well is the street lighting. You can see, I think, towards the back. You can see what the street lights are going to look like. Basically the same as what we have in Granite Landing. So through the Highway 23 up to about First Street North, they're going to be the taller poles. First Street North, the roundabout, they're going to actually be on the E602. There's a short pole in there, a 14-footer. They're going to be the shorter ones because of the power lines on the east side, just to avoid conflict in those. And it also is kind of a nice transition between the more business areas and the more residential areas. Then when we get back up to the roundabout, we go back to taller poles. The streetscaping, that was in there as well. We had talked last time about using the bollards and the fence design here. We have columns kind of outlined, 2 columns in there saying welcome to Cold Spring. Welcome 2 on one column and Cold Spring on the other. And similar look to what's at Granite Landing right now by the Granite Community Bank. Similar, not a, you know, a lot of the granite will look the same, the metal work on it will be a little bit different.
Is the 1 or 2 columns still gonna have to be addressed as we get closer?
I think we're gonna bid it as 2. If for some reason the prices come in really, really high, then I think our plan would be get rid of the one that says welcome 2
And just have the city.
and just do Cold Spring. But that's something, at this point, we're gonna just have to see where the prices come in.
Yeah, and I know it was a concern with the whole development and the paving coming closer, et cetera. So,
We have some plantings in the roundabout, so that's gonna be irrigated. We have a spot on here that will be irrigated. We're gonna put the flagpole back in the middle of the roundabout, and have light on it. It'll look nice. Down towards as we had talked about, from 23 up to about the trail is kind of the heavy streetscaping, which we had, would really draw people in. We have the granite banding in there, similar to Granite Landing. And as you recall, Cold Spring, the former granite company, has offered to, on that banding, up to a certain number of them that we had originally talked about, had offered to pay for the materials and the installation costs. And the only thing the city had to do was give them a foundation. Basically, in that spot, we lower the sidewalk through there, so there's a little concrete trough, almost, that the granite sits in. I met with George Snepp over at Cold Spring, and we talked about this last week, just to go over the plan. They had talked originally, I think, about doing 10 of these bands, because we had talked about 10 bollards. We looked at it, and he agreed to do 12 of them, so do 2 extra. And so there are a few more showing here to try and bring that theme through, and we were looking at it, and he said, I think what we can do is the granite company will, over and above those 12, they'll supply the materials to the city, and then it would just be up to the city to install them. So we would get the materials at no cost.
okay.
And he said that as well for, we had looked last time at those aprons. We had some of that, those flagstone paving at the corners of those aprons. He was willing to do the same thing there, provide the material. Installation would be up to the city. So I'm going to be working with the installer that he typically is going to use, see what some of those costs are, but and if they end up being too much for the city, or just costs become too much, it's something we can easily back away from. But it's also something that I think a pretty good value we can.
Very generous.
Very, very generous. So thank you very much to Cold Spring.
Yeah.
And he very much said he wants to see this turn out nice. They're very proud of granite and want to see us use it.
Well, and again, the other nice thing about it is the downtown committee, and you and the planning commission, one of the things that you talked about was the use of these kinds of improvements, the use of these kinds of streetscaping. So it's nice to see that, the use of that as well. And again, I know that we had to cut it because of cost. So the idea that the granite company is stepping up and making it so that we can do it. Again, this is turning out very, very nicely.
We're also, it's not shown in this set yet, but we had talked previously about railing on the box culvert. So we're looking to put an ornamental metal railing, basically metal posts, straight metal pickets, and some horizontal elements. It'll look pretty nice. It's a standard element from MnDOT that they use on bridges, so we know it's going to be easier for people to fabricate as well, because they know they do it all the time for MnDOT, so it's going to be real easy to do something for us. We talked about the idea of putting granite posts in there. I think we talked about that last time here. It was a great idea, but it just I think was going to be cost prohibitive and difficult to coordinate as well. How we would anchor those to the box culvert.
Okay.
So we have talked about trying to incorporate some other granite elements up there as well, but we're looking at that right now.
Well, anything we do across there is going to be an improvement. And, I mean, it's aesthetically pleasing compared to what's there now, so.
And then we're looking at like a black vinyl chain link down the slopes, down the wing walls.
Excellent. Council, what questions have you got for Ryan with regards to the plans and what he's talked about so far?
Excel Energy,
Looks
how are
good.
we doing with those people?
We met with them this afternoon, so very timely question. So we're looking at, we looked at all of the relocations, starting down by the trail all the way up. So we've set kind of the base work exactly of what he's looking at. We don't have any costs yet. We're working on some different plans. We had some different ideas even today than we had in the past about the block by the sidebar, the post office, because that is our most challenging block with trying to put those, get the power out of the street. So I think we had a pretty good discussion today, John and Pete were there.
Does Winters, after they move, do they really need that three-phase elevator anymore?
I think at this point, we have to consider that that's maybe a selling point in the building. So the idea is to still provide the three-phase to them.
But they make a single-phase elevator too, right? That's what was told to me by an electrical contractor.
And then that, I guess, I'm not sure on.
I mean, that would, because a lot of those wires are because of the three-phase, isn't it? The heavy wire.
Yeah, the heavy wires are because of the three-phase. Right now, we're looking at, to feed there, we're looking at coming from the old First National Bank, basically going west behind all the businesses on Main Street and then feeding Winters that way. All of those businesses are fed that way right now, except for the far building, the furthest west building of Winters is not. So we're just looking to feed them through that line. But it does require getting an easement through there because we have to upgrade the power. So in order to upgrade the power, the Excel requires us to get an easement where right now there is no easement.
Is there plans yet to take some of those trees out between the line and so customers can get at the subway and stuff like that, or is that gone now?
That's the next discussion we need to have with First National or with Granite Community is would they be willing to, and it would probably be something the city would have to pay for, essentially a temporary lease on that parking area so that we would be able to connect those two.
Somebody else owns a strip in between there.
And Prime Security owns a strip there and it connects the parking, getting those parking lots connected is our next step here. We have already talked about on the north end, connecting the brewery parking lot and the medical clinic parking lot.
Because the post office would be important too, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
At a council meeting 2 or 3 ago, we talked about contacting the bank to see what the status is. Would they be willing to sell us the lots, that kind of stuff? Have you anything that you can tell us about that?
Well, yeah, I before I had a chance to contact him, I actually found out that the bank and the 2 lots are actually listed separately. You had asked if I'd contact the bank to see if they would be willing to sell them that way. And somebody brought it to my attention. They're actually listed that way in the MLS website. And then their realtor, I actually contacted him directly, and I asked him just to confirm. I said, they are selling these separately? And he said, yes, they are.
Okay.
So he said they actually have, I don't know if, he didn't say this was not for repeating, so I'm sure it's okay. He said they actually do have somebody interested in the building. So I think there's our answer. I didn't actually contact the bank president, but that's...
Okay. Could you, or would the council be okay if I contacted the bank president to see if they would be willing to sell us just the lots, since they're listed separately anyway, at a discounted price? Is that okay?
It's worth asking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you be okay with that? I'm
Sure.
not gonna step on your toes?
No,
Okay.
that's fine.
Then I'll try to get in touch with him and see if we can make something work out. Because if we can do that, now go back to what you were just talking about. If the city could own those parking lots and then work out something with the landlord to make it so that we could acquire that strip of land between the 2 parking lots, then I think removing of what trees we have to, making it so that we can traverse that area, I think is something that we can potentially work on. Okay, excellent. What else you got? Council, what else do you have for Brian? Okay, Brian, what else do you got for us?
We're looking to bid here, I had said the week of March 14th, we're actually, I think, pushing that back 1 week. I think our bid date tentatively is April 14th. So we're working with the county on that. County is the lead agency on this project. And we have requirements on how long it needs to be out for bid. They also have one that's a little bit longer, requirements for how long it needs to be out to bid to satisfy their statutory requirements. But Jody and I have been in contact about that, and we've tentatively set that as our bid date.
Excellent. Brian, I understand that you and some of our public works people, as well as some county people, have been going and visiting with property owners along the site. Without getting specific, tell us about that, please.
So the county is going through and they're buying temporary easements for what they need to build the road. So if they have to go back into a driveway or those sort of things. So with those letters, we've also been visiting a number of the businesses and some of the homeowners who are affected a little more because of it. So it's been Pete Weber from the city, Mike Decker from Stearns County, he's the right-of-way specialist, and then I've been with on some of them. Mike and Pete have been out on a few more. Just visiting about it, it's the temporary easement says we have the right to go on this property to help facilitate construction for a 2-year period. And then once that 2-year period is over, you own that land just like you normally did. So there's questions with that, and there's forms that have to be signed, but that's why we've been going and talking to a lot of people. A lot of them have gotten sent out, some of the more simple ones, and then Mike and Pete have also been available, and I have as well, for any questions that people have regarding it. So it's also been a good opportunity to talk to some of the business owners about the project, what's coming up, answer some questions.
And so far, pretty much positive response?
So far, positive response, yes.
Perfect, thank you.
That's good to hear.
Okay, anything else, council? Brian, what else you got for us?
If you notice, the houses are gone.
Yes. Yes,
What a different look already.
It's huge up there.
Yeah.
it does, doesn't it?
That is big.
What's with the stumps?
I think they'll come out later and take those
Oh,
out.
I thought maybe they're gonna stay or something, right? I mean, they did all the cleaning, and then I drove through today, and wonder why they didn't take the stumps out.
When I wonder, I suppose the ground's frozen.
Too much frost down yet?
I think they'll just pull them out with tobacco once the frost comes
Yeah,
out.
it's probably the easier way.
Yeah.
Oh. I just saw that stumps are, everything's gone but the stumps.
Yep.
I was amazed by the number of trees that were there when I counted the stumps. Because I didn't think there were that many trees. It didn't seem like it when the houses were in between them.
Okay, John, what do you got for us? Done? All right, thank you. Then we're gonna move on. Brian, thank you. John, thank you. Then we're gonna move on the agenda to item number 11.
No, we have to go back up to 10 and do a resolution.
Resolution.
You didn't ask for that, did you?
Not yet. I was waiting to answer questions.
Oh, I'm sorry. Because I didn't think I heard you ask for it, but thanks, good catch. I didn't think I heard you ask for it. So let's give Brian his chance to ask for what he wants to ask for.
So in your packet was also a resolution. The recommendation is to approve Resolution 2016-19, resolution approving plans and specs for and authorizing Stearns County to advertise for bids for the Casatu reconstruction project.
I make that motion.
Brian, thank you. Second?
I'll second.
Dave, thank you. Motion is second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Congratulations. Thank you. Build us a road. All right.
I do have another as well. so-
Oh, there you go.
Just wanted to give you a little update on the wells. We've been still working with the Fraleys to look at additional land purchase, look at the power. The power's kind of been a little bit of the sticking point, getting power to their well. Right now, we're kind of looking at, previously we had looked about going up the east side of the property. We might actually be taking our road and power and pipes along the west side, partially because a need to get power to their well. And so it's a way to utilize something that we'd have to put in, so we'd get double use out of it. We'd have to put it in for their well, and then we can use it for our wells. So it's a little change of plans from what we had thought before, kind of coming through through the negotiation process of what's needed to get things to go. As part of that, we didn't originally anticipate, we had no intention of going up the west side originally, so we didn't do a full wetland delineation on that side in an effort to save costs. Now we're looking at going up the west side. So, in order to do the plat, we need to know to do the plat, we need to know where the wetlands are. To do the project, we need to know where the wetlands are. It's a critical piece because we don't want to impact those wetlands.
And with the driveway.
Yeah, and we have to put a driveway through there in order to access our wells, in order to allow maintenance for the power. They can't just put the power through a swamp or through the woods, and they have to have ways to access it. And they can't just put it across the field, because in the spring when there's a foot of mud, that's usually when the power will probably go out, so they have to be able to get to it. So what we're in, and I don't have I have a real rough proposal right now. It'd be about $2,200 to finish the wetland delineation, plus any fees that the county would charge to go with that. What that is we send someone out, just very similar to the last time. Someone goes out, they actually look at the soils, look at the plants, look at all of the stuff involved in what constitutes a wetland. They put little flags to mark it. They take a GPS and they pick up the flags. They then write up a report. That report goes into Stearns County. Stearns County has to sign off on it. It also goes to the Army Corps of Engineers because they govern wetlands and they have to sign off on it. Once both those agencies say we're in agreement with, basically they're saying we're in agreement with where you put the line, that's where the line is. So that's kind of the process of how you delineate the wetland.
Is that a reimbursable cost? I mean, assuming we have to get a grant, is that a reimbursable cost?
I would say it's a project cost, yes.
Okay.
But it's also something, I don't know that it's reimbursable. A lot of these things we're looking at, these grants or the bonding bill, you're not able to go retroactive and pull those things. It's only after you get that funding.
Oh.
So one of the reasons we've been, one of our deadlines in our timeline for the wells has been beginning of June, is because at the end of May we should hear yes or no on the bonding bill. So that's why that's one of the deadlines in there, is we want to find that out before we do heavy design and those sort of things.
So when does the legislature begin its legislative session for this year?
I think it was yesterday or today.
It's today. Excellent. So we need our legislators' help. Do legislators respond to contact from citizens?
Very much.
So do you have anything that you should be telling our citizens?
Our Representative Howe and Senator Fischbach, I think would love to hear the support of citizens of Cold Spring for our application for bonding money from the state. They've been great allies to this point. We've had a couple weeks ago, we met with I think the head of the Capital Investment Committee, so the bonding committee in the House. We had several members of the House from local districts kind of pleading our case, talking about the DNR and both our bonding bill. Right before Christmas, we had met with the Senate bonding tour. They make a tour of the state, so we got to present our case to them. So the governor has a list that's come out, and we were not on that list. But we talked right away with Fischbach and Howe, and they said, don't worry, that's only one list. The House and the Senate are also still able to come up with their lists. So I think any support they could hear from the citizens of Cold Spring that this is an important issue. Basically, it's if we can get bonding money, that's money we don't have to pay back. That's money we don't have to use, or we don't have to raise water rates to try and pay some of it back. So it's a big deal for us.
We also met with the Greater St. Cloud Development Corporation, and they're on board to help us out as much as they can as well. We met with them yesterday, so.
Excellent, excellent, thank you. All right, what else?
So the idea would, and I guess it's up to you if you if you'd like me to bring a more formal proposal on the wetlands, or otherwise we're looking at end of March, early April is when they could get in there. Typically it's mid-April, but with the nice weather, they might be able to get in early. And it will be something that has to happen with the land purchase if we do, because we would likely then purchase land towards the west side up towards the well field, so we would need to know that information.
So council questions, concerns?
Oh, unfortunately, it's an expense we're going to have to do before.
Yeah.
I agree.
I would just as soon make the motion to approve it so that as soon as weather permits, they can get in there and get going.
Yeah, so that your people can get it on the calendar, get it on the schedule,
Yeah.
so we're first, not last. Okay, what else? Jamie, Dave?
Nothing.
Okay, Fran? We're good. All right, then I think we should make a motion then and get this thing approved, that they have the permission not to exceed, what'd you say, not to exceed 2,200?
2,200 plus county, plus any expenses related with turning it into the county or things they have.
So not to exceed that? Somebody want to make that kind of a motion?
I'll make that.
Jan, thank you. Can we get a second?
Second.
Jamie, thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Excellent. Get us first on the list. Let's get some delineation and let's buy a land and put up a well. And in the meantime, as you recommended, everybody should contact their legislators. Thank you. John, you got anything else to add?
Nope.
Then you're done. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you're done.
You're done.
Oh, well, I didn't mean it.
You're
Good golly.
dismissed. Thank you.
All right, now can we go on to item 11?
Yeah. now you
Okay,
get-
thank you. Item 11, this is Chris's chance to shine.
Okay. You all remember the discussion we had on the actuary report for the Fire Relief Association. So the John Duvier went and got 2 quotes from 2 companies and is requesting approval to hire a company by the name of Hildy Incorporated to do it for $2,300. The city did offer to pay for that, so it would come out of the fire department's budget. And they're looking for approval to hire them.
I'll make a motion.
Jamie, thank you.
I'll second it.
Dave, thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Get it done.
Okay.
What else you got for us?
Well, I thought I would just give you guys an update. I haven't done this in a while on what we've been up to in administration because we've been extremely busy. So just a couple of things. I've been working a lot with Rusty from Northland Securities on financing for the County Road 2 project. We've been looking at everything from how long we want it to go, the term for both the bonds, the assessments, what we can do hopefully to have a successful bond rating this year. And tomorrow we're going to be meeting with one of the local banks to discuss the possibility of just doing that kind of financing. So we're starting very early. This isn't something we have to do till early summer, but we're trying to get a head start on it and be prepared for it. So you'll be seeing some things coming up in the next few months from us on that. And I brought this up at a last couple meetings ago, but just to let you know, I'm still working with several potential new projects coming to town. They're not ready to go public, but they're new, so it's not somebody that's already here that's rebuilding, so that's exciting. And we're looking at just reviewing site plans with them and making sure that what they want to do works, and hopefully not a lot of variances, so I'm excited about that. Thirdly, and this will be on our next agenda, and I think I talked to you about this before, but rock solid storage up in our business park. They're going to be building another building, so they're buying a lot in the business park, and at the next meeting we'll be talking about doing a replat because it's part of an outlot. It has to be platted. We have to rezone it because it's zoned residential right now, and they're going to be requesting a lot consolidation because it's right next to their existing one, and they just want it to be one big lot. So you'll have some approvals. That'll be going to the Planning Commission meeting next, and then at our city council meeting, so, but it's all good things, and
It's all good things.
yeah, so, the city administrator, just an update, a small update, the hiring committee's still working on that, so we don't really have anything new to report yet. But moving forward, our audit is next week. So we have been, and when I say we, Lois, Angie, Megan, they've all been helping me. We've been working furiously on reports for that and getting ready. Feeling pretty good about it. We have until Friday to finish, so I think we're on track for that. So, and then next week will be crazy because I'll be here every single day. But I feel good about it. So, and then lastly, Brian and John kind of touched on a few of these things already. But I've been working with, I should say, the financing for the wells. We've been, as they mentioned, meeting with the legislators, working on trying to get the bonding bill support. I've been working with Stearns Electric and Rural Development on that zero interest loan you guys approved a couple meetings ago. We're still on the intended use plan for the PFA loan. I guess not really working on that right now, but got those three things out there. So that's all I have, but it's been
Sounds like a lot.
We've been
Sounds like a
super
lot.
busy,
Yeah.
but it's all good things. Progress.
Sounds good. Can you do us a favor? Can you do all of us a favor? Take back to your staff. Thank you. I mean, we appreciate very much. We know that you've been short one staff, one body, but you've been cranking out a lot of work and representing us well. So we want to thank you. So would you take it back?
Yes.
And thank everybody for us.
I will.
Okay, that's Chris's report. Does anybody else want to give a little report on something? Jamie?
Before we pay the bills?
Should we pay the bills first, or?
Well, I just thought we were on a roll.
I'm thinking,
And if you're on a roll, I mean, do we have
Well,
to follow everything? Okay, fine.
we could go to 13 if you want, that's fine.
Are you okay with that?
I'm okay with that.
All right, thank you.
A reminder, can I go first?
Audience.
Can
Huh?
I go first?
Yes, if you would.
Reminder, we have the community showcase sponsored by the Chamber on March 19th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. The police department, the fire department, the city will all have booths there. We're going to have food, we're going to have games, we're going to have a bouncy house. We have a pianist coming in. We have a magician / comedian coming in to do 3 short shows, jump things for the kids. 90 plus vendors are going to be there, so we should have good weather.
Excellent.
That's it.
Excellent. Are there any other exciting things that are going to happen at that, at the community showcase?
Not that I'm aware of.
Not that he's aware of.
You should make him aware.
You should make them aware. Okay, I'll do it. I was handed this press release just a little while ago. I mean, literally, I was handed a press release. And here's what it says. The press release is addressed to the Cold Spring Record, and it says, "Meet with the mayor. Sorry, we could not sign up Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton, but we were able to get Bob Thielen, the mayor of Cold Spring, for the showcase. The date will be March 19th at the annual Community Showcase breakout room next to the registration desk from 10:15 to 11 a.m. This will be an excellent opportunity to visit with the mayor and ask all those tough questions you have been storing up, especially what is happening to Red River Avenue project and also the water situation we are reading so much about." So that's what the press release says. So you've just been updated. That's what's going on. And Chris has promised me that if there's singing and dancing at this Coffee with the Mayor, she will be singing. Is that what you said?
No, that's not what I said at all.
Yeah. It is what you said. So, all right. Jamie, thank you. Dave, what do you got for us?
Nothing.
Jen?
Nothing.
Fred? Okay. Now remember, we're still on third.
I can't top that.
Can't top that. You can't top that. All right. I just have one more really quick thing. Today is Tuesday, and today is Election Day in Wakefield Township, and tonight's their annual meeting. So if those of you that can still go out and vote, because I don't know what time the polls close, but if you can, if you haven't, and I know you won't see this until Wednesday, but if you have a time warp thing, and so you can still, it could happen, if you can still get out and get to voting, I mean, this is a good opportunity. So good luck to Wakefield Township. Again, the legislative session started today. Contact your legislators. Council, the last thing I have is for you. Remember, we talked about, we're going to have a workshop coming up. We've talked about dates and that kind of stuff. What I'm going to ask each and every one of you to do, come up with 1, 2 topics of things that you would like us all just to talk about. Again, usually at a workshop, there's not motions. It's just talking about things, education, that kind of stuff. Come up with things you want to talk about, get them to Chris so we can compile a list, and then at our workshop, we'll sit down and we'll talk about things that we need to all basically brainstorm about, okay? So, workshop coming up. You have anything else?
No. No. I guess just to add to that, I would need to know them ahead of time because it's a special meeting, so if we want to talk about it, it has to be on the agenda, so let me know ahead of time if you have something.
Okay, excellent, thank you. All right, that's it for number 13 as far as I'm concerned. Now we're going to go back to 12, for those of you who are keeping score. We should pay our bills, shouldn't we?
Yeah, I think so.
Chris?
List of bills, recommendation is to review and accept payment of the accounts payable according to the list and supplemental list provided by city staff.
Brian, you said yes?
Yep, let's pay them.
Okay, we have a motion, do we get a second?
Second.
Jamie, thank you, motion and second, any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Excellent. Then we're on to the last item, item number 14. We need a motion to go home.
I'll make a motion.
Motion to adjourn, thank you. Do we hear a second?
Second.
Jamie, thank you. Motion and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Thank you. Excellent meeting. Thank you, everybody. And again, congratulations, Wenner Company. We're looking forward to seeing more results.